The Origins of Life, Chi Creation, Part 8. So, going back to the first series, and we were talking about the chakra and how that it's the micro of the macro. For one thing, like the flower, it forms that chakra shape, so you can see how it's got the torus field, and then that is like a micro of the macro, and then how we're connected to it as well, because we've also got that, we share that same expression. So how the chakra is a portal, then that's how we came through the flowers, how we were formed into this reality from the heavens to the plane of earth. So I wanted to cover more on it. There's quite a few. There's lots I've not really gone into it. You know what I mean, and stuff like. Been concentrating on the ocean and seeing the chakras in that kind of sense and things. But I'm going to read out the Lingxian, written in 120 AD by the polymath Zhang Hen, who thoroughly accounts for the creation of heaven and earth. So, before the great plainness or great basis came to be, there was the dark limpidity and mysterious quiescence, dim and dark. That's supposed to be one sentence. So I'll start again. Before the great plainness or great basis came to be, there was the dark limpidity and mysterious quiescence, dim and dark. No image of it can be formed. Its midst was void, its exterior was non-existence. Things remained thus for long ages. This is called obscurity. It was the root of the Tao. When the stem of the Tao had been grown, creatures came into being and shapes were formed. At this stage, the original Qi split and divided. Hard and soft divided. Pure and turbid took up different positions. Heaven formed on the outside, and earth became fixed within. Heaven took its body from the yang, so it was round and in motion. Earth took its body from the yin, so it was flat and quiescent. Through motion, there was action and giving forth. Through quiescence, there was conjoining and transformation. Through binding together, there was a fertilization, and in time, all the kinds of things were brought into growth. This is called the Great Origin. It was the fruition of the Tao. And the Tao, I think that's like the way of nature. So when we're talking about like binding together, like the fertilization, when the stem of the Tao had been grown, creatures came into being. What's the stem of the Tao? Is that the center of a torus field, or is that the actual tree of life, the actual tree, rather than the flower of life symbol? But yeah, that's like talking about the yin and the yang, and now the formations of it all and stuff, kind of thing. How it all came to be in that kind of way. You've got a more recently excavated one. I don't think it's been fully. I don't know. I've got no idea. But it was titled "The Great One." The great one gave birth to water. So that reads as, the Great One gave birth to water. Water returned and assisted Tai. That's like yin yang. In this way was developing heaven. Heaven returned and assisted Tai in this way, developing earth, and earth and heaven repeatedly assisted each other, in this way developing the gods above and below. The gods above and below repeatedly assisted each other, in this way developing yin and yang. So that's more like how the torus field were kind of formed. Whereas it seems like in this one, 159 BC, when heaven and earth were yet unformed, all was ascending and flying, diving and delving, thus was called the grand inception. The grand inception produced the nebulous void, the nebulous void produced space-time, space-time produced the original key. In this sense, do you know, because I speak about like how the torus field, it creates time. Without the torus field, time doesn't exist. So, you know what I mean? It's like, that's why in space science, when they say that you leave Earth and the further away you get, the more time stretches are, however it goes and stuff kind of thing. So our time is like, it's also on the origins of life, the animals, the pictures I've shown, there's like references towards time on there, perspective, all these kind of things. It's like, so are we all like a micro of a macro in that kind of sense? It's like you are a reflection of the reality. So it's kind of like sense, because like the space time, that is the torus field. So this nebulous void, this is like the spiritual aspect of a realm, which would be called heaven. So the grand inception produced the nebulous void. Nebulous void produced space-time. Space-time produced the original key, chi. A boundary divided the original chi, which was pure and bright, spread. I keep missing full stops. The grand inception produced the nebulous void. Nebulous void produced space-time. Space-time produced the original key, chi. A boundary divided the original chi, which that which was pure and bright spread out to form heaven. That which was heavy and turbid congealed to form earth. It is easy for that which. It is easy for that which is pure and subtle to converge, but difficult for the heavy and turbid to congeal. Therefore, hell was completed first, earth was fixed afterwards. This might be like the underside of the torus field. So, in that kind of sense, we split it through center, don't we? When on the first series, I've got like that torus field, it shows it midsection. We're obviously on the light side kind of thing. And earth was fixed afterwards. The conjoined essences of heaven and earth produced yin and yang. The supersessive essences of yin and yang caused the four seasons. The scattered essences of the four seasons created the myriad things. So as though it was like the habitat for life to, you know, to be. You know what I mean? Like for it to, for a place for it to actually to exist, kind of thing. Conditions and such. The hot chi of accumulated yang produced fire. The essence of the fiery chi became the sun, and the cold chi of accumulated yin produced water. The essence of watery chi became the moon. The overflowing chi of the essences of the sun and the moon made the stars and planets. To heaven belong the sun, moon, stars, planets. To earth belong waters, floods, dust, and soil. Of old, in time before, there was heaven and earth. There were only images and no forms. All was obscure and dark and vague and unclear, shapeless and formless, and no one knows its gateway. There were two spirits, born in murkiness, one that established heaven and the other that constructed earth, so vast that no one knows where they ultimately end, so broad that no one knows where they finally stop. Thereupon they differentiated into yin and yang and separated into the 8 cardinal directions, the firm and the yielding form of each other. The myriad things thereupon took shape. The turbid vital energy became creatures. The refined vital energy became humans. well, with things to go over um, for all of it, in a sense. And I wanted to include this bit here, by the way. From the newer, the ancient Chinese believed in a square Earth and a round dome-like sky supported by 8 giant pillars. So more food for thought in that kind of sense, and it's more of the ancient people believed in the globe and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's not true, is it? We've got more evidence of where people believed it to be flat and stuff. And so one thing which became quite a strong thing in my way of thinking when I first started doing this, and you think about the Taurus field and where we are and all these kind of things. So you look to the heavens, and it's like it's the masculine in the heavens. So I don't know which right way around. It depends how you take it. Is that the white sky, or is that the night sky? You know what I mean? If that was sky, then that'd be Earth, and then vice versa. If that was the night sky, then that'd be Earth lit up. Or it depends. But but what I was thinking is how we have the heavenly Father in the sky, and then we have the earthly mother, which is in the ground. So it's fertile, it's the land and stuff like that kind of thing, like the soil, and how we've got Mother Earth, and this is kind of like, I suppose a lot of like mainstream religions don't really include that. It's only got like the masculine. So to see them both in that kind of way, it seems to make a lot more sense. You know what I mean? Like in like a spiritual value. It's obvious that there should be a male and female to it. And when you think about the realm in the terms of a yin yang, you've got your male and female there. And Mother Earth, Gaia, all that kind of stuff, then, that just makes sense that that's just the fertile land, the mother energy which is in the earth. So like the earth is like the masculine, and because it's like the hard, turbid, and all this kind of stuff, but she's feminine. You know what I mean? So this is like a spot of feminine in the masculine, and then in the sky you got the feminine, and then you got the masculine within it. So like the heavens, that's all spiritual. So that's in you. But it's got a masculine god within the heavens. So it's got its yin and yang, so how it flips and flops in that kind of way. I don't know. There's potential, if we have got 2 skies or whatever. I don't really know what I think about idea and such like. But examples of like the yin yang being like this, it does hold potential. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that could be hell if that's the case, or it could just be another dimension, all part of our realm. So you'd have another one there, and there, and there, and there, as well, like for your flower of life pattern. I mean, it might not be. It might just be, the top half and the bottom half. I can't remember what I'm going to say about that. Obviously, the infinity sign and all these kind of things. So you can connect that to the previous picture. Where are we? You got 2. So you got 2. Yin, yang, yin, yang. So you got yin and yang in that kind of way. So you get your same there, but it repeats. This is more like for us being the micro of a macro. So like, that's the entire realm, but as you go deeper and deeper and deeper in, you get into, what the micro is, and the flowers and people, all that kind of thing. Another example of it. It probably connects to like how your organs work and all these kind of things. And it's like, designed on the same system. So it flows and works and like a wave. It creates pressure underneath, so as it goes over, it pulls that water. So it's creating a yin yang every time a wave goes over. I want to go back. Or actually, how close to that one? Oh, nothingness at the top. So action and stillness. You put it that way. And so that's like your heavens. And the action, all the movement of the heavens. Stillness is the earth. That might be the sun, I don't know. And that being of that, maybe, you know what I mean? It's kind of like how you see the sun, like from your perspective in that kind of sense, and how it is the whole, or something along those lines. And so you got all your elements, male and female, transformation, maybe ascension. You got it like that. That's another example of a yin yang, how it appropriates to the realm in that kind of way. So you got like your, how many heavens? You know what I mean? Is that how it connects in a way? It's the symbol of that. I was trying to show it on a previous episode, our series, which is there again, but it's cropped. So yeah, I think that's covered it for the time being. There's a lot more stuff I want to talk about it and stuff like, but for that section, because it's like, to do with ancient Chinese and all these kind of things, and to connect it to that kind of part of it, which is, connected to like me kung fu side of things. So this was where we were when we left off when we finished the last episode. One of the things I wanted to mention is how it's lobster-like. It's got its same kind of shape to its anatomy in that kind of way. How we share these qualities between each other. So, like evolution, I'd say that this used to be a lobster. You know what I mean? But you got things which are really contradictory into like the pathway of evolution. And so, obviously, we've got the blue of the ocean, like bubbles or splashes of water. And then in the centre, we've got the wave, which is splashing. It's got a reflection line, so it's kind of like almost the same on the other side. You can see all the water on edge kind of thing, how it breaks. And a leaf hopper with bowing kind of shape. one of these. I showed you one last time. It had like a star pattern on the back. And this one's got more like leopardy spots, almost like giraffe kind of pattern there, but got lines. And when it's there, it's got like, you can see a face there. It looks like there's a face underneath it. And then you've even got like a wasp's face in this triangle. So like eyes and nose area, mouth. This one with the eyes are, it looks like, because like on a moth, this part, you've got the wave, like all the fur, it's like the splashing of a wave kind of thing. On here, you've got discoloration, so it looks like, is that the wave? You know what I mean? And all the froth leading to like where the eyes and the nose and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we get the oxygen from the froth, or the water does. So it's over relate in these kind of sense. So another leafhopper. And it looks like it's got human legs, like ready to jump off. Got his arms like holding on, some sort of flight suit. His legs, over like humans, like, you know, like if we had a pair of legs, that's what it's like in that kind of sense. It's like repeated on the other side, like got another set of legs on it going the other way. So it's got 3 on each side, including arms, which aren't arms or legs, but but how it looks in that kind of sense and how we'd relate it to us. So, you know, like I say about evolution, we're saying that we're related in that kind of sense. So this became a fish. It used to be a fish, but came onto land and then became a human and then de-evolved. Or what? You know, I mean, because that's a bit of a really ridiculous stretch. So obviously not. It's got the bud shape to it, all that kind of stuff. It's got the wave shape. You can see the wave patterns with the froth, and if you zoom really in, you can see all the waves there as well. It's like micro and macro waves. So they're tiny waves, but then you got this wave here, leaving all the froth behind. So this one, is it wave? So splashing kind of water. You get your perspective lines. There you got that way as well. So the other thing is looking over here. So if we've got like, if that's the horizon line, that line there, so that's like into distance. And we've got like a great golden sunset kind of glowing sky, and we've got like smooth, still water, which is like perfectly reflecting it in that kind of way. Like a bit of shade of cloud, like a slight line, which is reflected in water as well. Another leafhopper. This one showing the wave shape, how it makes it look like a snake's head in that kind of sense. It's also like a bud, you know what I mean, like a flower bud or seed. But it's also got like from the wave shape, it's also got that hammerhead shape to it. It's like a shark. More, you know, more with hammerhead because it's got like the eyes at the side in that kind of sense. I mean, it's straight across. So when you got your bud kind of colour, woodish, you know, accompanied with a wave at the bottom. And you get a little spray. Daffodils. Small flower bud example. You got all the dry stuff kind of goes over like that, but it's kind of bright. And so you got your Fibonacci spiral, your wave, your butterfly tongue, but it's a flower. So for it to come out of a flower, when we're saying that butterflies come out of flowers, so how it's related in that kind of way, and then the butterfly uses its tongue to feed from the flower as well. Another example, and you got that as well. Which, I'll go back. Sorry, I can't find it. It was the picture of the cabbage which were cut in half, and it showed you a spiral, and then it had like a star shape in the centre, which were very similar to this, or like you'd get in the centre of a snowflake. Like that one. And so it's similar to like the umbrella bug or those flowers. But I mean, snowflakes are like flowers anyway. You know, they've got all that flower shape and leaf shapes and all these kind of things. Which is already in the memory of the water. So how the plants get that information. So how the pollen gets the information. You know what I mean? The chi which is in there and how that kind of goes forth and stuff. And all these are all formed and shaped and stuff like. You got the wave, all the different shapes that the waves make, you know, depending on the strength of the wave and all these kind of things, and all the light that goes into it. Which in the first series we covered the stars and all that kind of stuff, like on the seashells and all the lines going around them and all these kind of things, and comparing that to the torus field, and there's night sky, all that kind of stuff, which would be all incorporated into these kind of things. So for them to relate, you know. Where are we? So more on the flower bud shape. These are flower buds of fruit. It won't turn upside down, but you can see how they look alive. You know, like birds are. Try and turn it a little bit. Right, it doesn't really make much difference, does it? As they look like birds. Now it's upside down now. There's another one. They look a bit like beaks as well, you know. They look like birds for one thing. I suppose that's another aspect of the micro to macro. How the beak is the wave shape and it's the small part on the parrot, but at the same time, it can look like the whole of a parrot. So like the teardrop shape of a creature is like also how that's repeating. As again, like birds again. But I'm gonna have to leave it there because I've over 30 minutes. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.